Okay, we're going to start the class with an introduction to computers and the internet. It's chapter 1 in your textbook. The learning objectives in this chapter is to explain what computers do, identify types of computers, describe computer networks and the internet, and understand how computers impact society. The first section, topics are to be covered are primary operations of the computer, data and information, hardware and software, computer users, and professionals. So what is a computer? A computer is a programmable electronic device that accepts data, performs operations on that data, presents the results, and stores the data or results as needed. The fact that a computer is programmable means that a computer will do whatever the instructions tell it to do. The programs used with a computer determine the task the computer is able to perform. The four primary operations of a computer are input, which is entering data into the computer, processing, performing operations on that data, output is presenting the results of that processing, and storage is saving the data, programs, or output for future use. The process of input, processing, output, and storage is often called the information processing cycle. Today's computers are typically perform communication functions such as sending or retrieving data via the internet, accessing information located in a shared company database, or exchanging email messages. Therefore, communications technically is an input or output operation depending on which direction the information is going, and is considered the fifth primary computer operation. A user inputs data into a computer and the computer processes it. Okay. Data is raw, unorganized facts. A user inputs data in a computer and then the computer processes it. Okay, so what is data? Data is any text that you input, pictures, videos, anything that you input into the computer that hasn't been processed yet, just loaded, that's your raw data. And when the data is modified, files named, it's stored, changes made, etc., you have processed it into meaningful information, and it becomes what we call information. Any fact or set of facts can become computer data, such as the words in a letter to a friend, the numbers in a monthly budget, the images in a photograph, the notes in a song, or the facts stored in an employee record. Once you've loaded those and organized them, you've processed it into information. The physical parts of a computer, the parts you can touch, is called hardware. It can be internal or external. You can have all of your internal items that are inside of the case, such as your hard drive and your video cards and that kind of thing. But you can have external data, external hardware as well, which is located on the outside through a wire to wireless connection. Such as external hard drives and that kind of thing. The term software refers to the programs or instructions used to tell the computer hardware what to do and to allow people to use a computer to perform specific tasks such as creating letters, preparing budgets, managing inventory and customer databases, playing games, watching videos, playing music, etc. You have two major types of software. You have your application software, and you have your operating system. Your operating system is Windows 7, Mac OS X, Linux. That actually is your overall software that helps the computer to run. And then you have your application software that is your Adobe Suite, your Microsoft Office, Adobe Reader, that kind of thing. Computer users, often called an end user, are the people who use the computers to perform tasks or obtain information. Programmers, on the other hand, are your professionals who write the programs that help the computer to run or to complete tasks for you. Other computer professionals include system analysts who design computer systems to be used within their companies, Computer operations personnel who are responsible for day-to-day computer operations at a company, such as maintaining systems or troubleshooting user-related problems. You also have security specialists who are responsible for securing the company computers and networks against hackers and other intruders. Alright, so types of computers. Here it lists the topics we're going to cover. Embedded, cloud, mobile devices. It looks at a little brief then and now for computers. Personal PCs, personal computers, mid-range servers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. So an embedded computer is a tiny computer embedded into a product designed to perform specific tasks or functions for that product. Many household appliances, such as dishwashers, microwaves, ovens, coffee makers, thermostats, answering machines, treadmills, sewing machines, DVD players, and TVs, have these embedded computers to help the appliances and objects perform their designated tasks. Cars also use embedded computers to assist with diagnostics, such as when the oil filter needs changing, to facilitate the car's navigational system, to help the driver perform tasks, and to control the use of the airbag or other safety devices. Because embedded computers are designed for a specific task and a specific product, they cannot be used as general purpose computers. They're only good for that specific task for that one product. Cloud computing refers to data applications and even resources stored on computers accessed over the internet. In a cloud of computers, rather than on a user's machine, and you can access only what you need when you need it. Most of you guys today have used the cloud somewhat. Some of you may not have. But Google Apps, Windows Live, Facebook, YouTube, all are companies that have cloud computing capabilities available for people. A mobile device is loosely defined as a very small device, typically pocket-sized, that has built-in computing or internet capability. Mobile devices are commonly used to make phone calls, send text messages, view web pages, take digital photos, play games, watch TV shows. Most mobile phones today include computing and internet capabilities, and they're known as smartphones. Even small tablets that are designed for web browsing, playing movies, or other multimedia things such as gaming are considered mobile devices. Handheld gaming devices such as a Nintendo 3DS and portable digital media players such as an iPod Touch that include internet capabilities are also considered a mobile device, though they have fewer overall capabilities than the more conventional mobile devices. Mobile devices are almost always powered by rechargeable battery systems. It says here, before 1946, pre-computers and early computers. Approximately from 1946 to 57, you had your first generation computers. 58 to 63, you had second generation. 64 to 70, third generation. 71 to present, fourth generation, and now going into the future, we're in fifth generation computers. A personal computer is a small computer designed to be used by one person at a time. Conventional personal computers that are designed to fit on or next to a desk are referred to as desktops. Portable computers are small personal computers that are designed to be carried around easily, such as your tablets, notebooks, and netbooks. A device that must be connected to a network to perform processing or storage tasks is referred to as a dumb terminal. Two types of personal computers that may be able to perform a limited amount of independent processing but are designed to be used with a network are thin clients and internet applications. A thin client, also called a network computer, is a device that is designed to be used with a company network. Instead of using local hard drives for storage, programs are accessed from and data is stored back to a network server. A thin client might be installed in a hotel lobby to provide guests with internet access, hotel and conference information, room-to-room calling, and free phone calls via the internet. Network computers or other devices designed primarily for accessing the internet or exchanging email are called internet applications. Gaming consoles, such as your Nintendo Wii, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, that can be used to view internet content in addition to gaming, can be classified as an internet application while it's being used for internet access. A mid-range server, sometimes called your mini computers, is a medium-sized computer used to host programs and data for a network. One trend involving mid-range servers as well as mainframes is virtualization, which is the creation of virtual versions of a computing resource rather than actual. Server virtualization uses separate server environments that are physically located on the same computer but function as separate servers and do not interact with each other. For instance, all applications for an organization can be installed in a virtual environment on a single physical server instead of using a separate server for each application. Using separate servers for each application wastes resources because the servers are often not used to full capacity. With virtualization, companies can fulfill their computing needs with fewer servers, which results in lower cost. Okay. A mainframe is a powerful computer used in many large organizations that need to manage large amounts of centralized data. Mainframes can serve thousands of users connected to the mainframe via personal computers, thin clients, or dumb terminals in a manner similar to the way users connect to mid-range servers. Mainframe computers are typically located in climate-controlled data centers because they put off a lot of heat and connect to the rest of the company computers via a computer network. Supercomputers, some applications require a lot of speed, accuracy, and processing capabilities. For example, sending astronauts into space, controlling missile guidance systems, forecasting the weather. All of this requires a lot of speed and accuracy, so supercomputers were created to fill that need. To reduce costs, supercomputers are often built by connecting hundreds of smaller and less expensive computers into a supercomputing cluster that acts as a single computer. You'll have 15 computers working together as a single server, connected together. They're fast, but it's a very expensive system. A network is a collection of computers and other devices that are connected to share hardware, software, and data, as well as to communicate electronically. Topics covered in this section will be the Internet and the World Wide Web, accessing a network or the Internet, using email, and surfing the web. Okay. The Internet is the largest and most well-known computer network in the world. It's technically a network of networks because it consists of thousands of networks that can access each other. Individual users connect to the Internet by connecting their computers or other devices using an ISP or Internet Service Provider, which is a company that provides Internet access, usually for a fee. These companies are Verizon, AT&T, Charter. While the Internet refers to the physical structure of the network, the World Wide Web, or WWW, refers to the resource, a collection of documents called web pages, available through the Internet. A group of web pages belonging to one individual or company is called a website. Web pages are stored on computers called web servers that are continually connected to the Internet. They can be accessed at any time by anyone with a computer or other web-enabled device and an Internet connection. Web pages are viewed using a web browser such as IE, which is Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari, or Firefox. And here it shows some examples of common web activities. It shows Google there, it shows Facebook, it shows some online shopping and that kind of thing. Which is common things, reading the news. things we do on the internet. Okay, so accessing a network over the internet. To request a web page and other resources located on the internet, its internet address, which is a unique numeric or text-based address, is used. The most common types of internet addresses are IP addresses and domain names, which identifies your computer, your URL, which identifies the web page, and an email address, which identifies the person. IP addresses and their corresponding domain names are used to identify computers available through the internet. IP, short for Internet Protocol addresses, are numeric, such as 207.46.197.32. But that's hard for everybody to remember, so computers are usually text-based so that we can remember it, such as Microsoft.com, sneed.edu. This corresponds to the computer. This corresponds back to the computer's IP address, but it's easier for people to use to request access to that server. Alright, similar to the way IP address or domain names uniquely identifies the computer on the internet or the web server on the internet, a uniform resource locator uniquely identifies a web page by specifying the protocol or standard being used to display the web page, the web server hosting the web page, the name of any folders on the web server in which the web page file is stored, and finally the web page file's name if needed. The most common web page protocols are Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP, for regular web pages, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, which is HTTPS, for secure web pages that can be used to transmit sensitive information safely, such as your credit card numbers. The file extensions used in web page file names such as HTML or HTM for standard web pages indicates the type of web page that will be displayed. Here it shows you an example of a URL for a web page. You've got your HTTP, and then your index.html is on the very end over here, is the file name, and then it's got your path of how to get to that file name. So you're sending a Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and it's stored on Cengage.com server, in the careers folder, in the working with us folder, inside the careers folder, and then index.html is the page. So it gives you the entire path to get to that page on the Cengage.com server. Alright. Email is the process of exchanging messages between computers over a network, usually the internet. To contrast someone using the internet, to contact someone using the internet, you must often use his or her email address. An email address consists of a username followed by the @ symbol followed by the domain name for the computer that will be holding the person's email. For example, mine is Laretha.Childress, that's my username, at gmail.com. Gmail.com is the service provider server address where you can reach me through email, because my email is stored on their server. Alright, once you have an internet connection, you're ready to surf the web. The first page that your web browser displays when it is opened is your browser's starting page or home page. And then to navigate to a new page for which you know the URL, you type it in the address bar and press the enter key. So if we look at that real quick. Okay, when Firefox opens, Google is my home page. That's where I start, is my Google search page. If I want to go somewhere else, I go right up here and I can put in sneed.edu, and go to Sneed's page if my connection wasn't super slow. Okay, so now I've went to Sneed's page. If I click one of these links, I can go to the Blackboard page, which shows a new, this is a secured server, it's HTTPS, and the address is sneed.blackboard.com. That's the server address. /webapps is a folder, /login. So then it will take my information that's entered here, match it up with login credentials that's stored in that login folder to see if I have access to enter this site. And here's just another example of web surfing. There you're on Google. It talks about your toolbar, which includes the back and forward buttons, your address bar, which shows the current URL and where you can go in and type a new URL. Hyperlinks, like I used on the Sneed page to get to Blackboard. Open tab and new button. So if we go back here, and I go back, alright, I'm on Sneed's page. These are all hyperlinks. My Sneed will take me to a different page. And there again is your address for the home page for the My Sneed site. All of these are again hyperlinks that will open different locations. Here's your address bar that shows your current URL. If I want to open another tab and keep that one open and open Blackboard at the same time in a different tab, now I can switch between the two. Okay. Pronunciations for the internet addresses. Since a lot of times you're giving these addresses out verbally, you need to know how to pronounce the different parts. If a portion of the address forms a recognizable word or name, it is spoken that way, otherwise it is spelled out. The @ sign is pronounced at, the A with the little circle around it. The period is pronounced as dot, and the / is pronounced as slash. So if we look here at this domain name, your sample address is Berkeley or berkeley.edu, pronounced berkeley.edu. Okay, and if we look at this one for Microsoft, it's microsoft.com/windows/IE/default.asp. Okay, and then with that email address, it's president@whitehouse.gov. Alright, if we move on to the last section of this, which is computers and society, it's going to talk about benefits and risks of computer-oriented society, understanding intellectual property rights, computers and your health, and environmental concerns. So, benefits and risks of a computer-oriented society. Your benefits are virtually designing, building, and testing products, which helps you create a safer product, work out bugs before you get this gigantic structure built that you've already put $1 million in and then it doesn't work. Earlier diagnosis and more effective medical treatments. Ability to shop, pay bills, research products, participate in online courses, and look up vast amounts of information at any time from anywhere. Generate new opportunities for physical or visually challenged individuals. Increased efficiency in routine tasks. Your risk, there are some stress and health concerns, security and privacy, legal and ethical dilemmas, repercussions of collecting vast amounts of information electronically. So let's talk about intellectual property rights first. All computer users should be aware of intellectual property and intellectual property rights, which are the legal rights to which the creators of your intellectual property original creative works are entitled. Examples of intellectual property include music and movies, paintings, computer graphics and other works of art, poetry, books, and other types of written works, Symbols, names, and designs used in conjunction with a business, architectural drawings, and inventions. The three main types of intellectual property rights are copyrights, trademarks, and patents. Alright, a copyright is a form of protection available to the creator of an original artistic, musical, or literary work, such as a book, movie, software program, musical composition, or painting. It gives the copyright holder the exclusive right to publish, reproduce, distribute, perform, or display the work. Immediately after creating a work, the creator automatically owns the copyright of that work. Copyrights apply to both published and unpublished works and remain in effect until 70 years after the creator's death. Copyrights for works registered by an organization or as an anonymous works last 95 years from the date of publication. One exception on this copyright law is the legal concept of fair use, which permits limited duplication and use of a portion of a copyrighted material for specific purposes, such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, and research. For example, a teacher can legally read a copyrighted poem for discussion in a poetry class, or a news crew may videotape a small portion of a song at a concert to include in a news report of that concert. Alright, a trademark is a word, phrase, symbol, or design, or a combination of those that identifies one product or service. A trademark used to identify a service is also called a service mark. Trademarks that are claimed but not registered with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office can use the mark TM. When you see a TM, it's not registered. Non-registered service marks can use the symbol of SM. If it's registered, the symbol of a R in a circle is reserved for the registered trademarks. Trademark words and phrases such as iPod, Chicken McNuggets, Google Docs, and Walmart.com are widely used today. Trademark logos are also common, such as your Coca-Cola logo, the golden arches for McDonald's. Those are trademark logos. Plagiarism and non-plagiarism. To present someone else's work as your own is plagiarism. It's a violation of copyright law and it's unethical. It can get you fired. It can get you sued. So let's talk about when it's plagiarism and when it's not. If you include a paragraph from an author in your term paper and you don't give credit to that author, you have plagiarized their work. If you include a paragraph but you put it in quotations and you footnote and do the citations like you're supposed to, then you're not plagiarizing the work because you're giving credit back to that author of the original thought. If a newspaper reporter changes a few words in a sentence or paragraph written by somebody else and includes it in their article without giving credit to that original author, they have plagiarized it. They have to use the proper citations. Even when paraphrasing, you have to use citation and give credit back to that author of that work. If you're copying and pasting information from various online documents without giving credit, you're committing plagiarism. Okay? When you copy and paste, you have to put that stuff in quotations, and you have to document it and do your correct citations. If a teacher reads a poem in class and leads that class to believe that it's their work, they wrote it, then they have plagiarized it. When reading a poem in class, that teacher must clearly identify the actual poet of the poem. Alright, ethics refers to standards or moral conduct. Ethics with respect to the use of computers is referred to as computer ethics. Computer ethics have taken on more significance in recent years because of the proliferation of computers into the home and the workplace. You may need to make ethical decisions daily, such as, do you offer a free copy of a downloaded song to your relative? Whether to have a friend help you take an online exam. Whether to upload a photo of your friend to Facebook without asking their permission. Whether to post rumors or gossip on the campus blog. Okay, so those things you have to think about. There's also business ethics, which are the standards of conduct that guide a business policies, decisions, and actions. And you have to be really careful that you're following those business ethics with your computer ethics within a company. Okay, some common physical conditions caused by computers include eye strain, blurred vision, fatigue, headaches, backaches, wrist and finger pain. Some conditions are classified as repetitive stress injuries, in which hand, wrist, shoulder, or neck pain is caused by performing the same physical movements over and over, sitting there typing at that keyboard. One RSI-related repetitive finger movements made when using a keyboard is carpal tunnel syndrome. It's a painful and crippling condition affecting the hands and the wrist. That's one that you'll hear a lot about if you do a lot of computer work. A lot of people get carpal tunnel from working at a computer. There on page 24 in your book, that workspace design for ergonomics is the science of fitting a work environment to the people who work there. I'll let you guys read through that about ergonomically designed keyboards and the way to adjust the height of your chair so that it's more comfortable for you to work and that kind of thing. But I'll let you guys read through that on your own. But just be aware of ergonomics and what it is. Alright, green computing. It refers to the use of computers in an environmentally friendly way. A lot of things have the Energy Star label on it now, such as office equipment, residential heating and cooling equipment, major appliances, lighting, home electronics, and that kind of thing. An Energy Star qualified computer will use between 30% and 65% less energy than another computer that's not Energy Star rated. Alright, eco labels are environmental performance certifications. They're used in other countries as well. High cost of electricity and the recent increase in data center energy uses has made power consumption and heat generation by computers concerns for businesses and individuals. Although computers have become more energy efficient, they can still draw quite a bit of power in standby and sleep modes, particularly with a screensaver enabled. Devices like computers, home electronics, and appliances that draw power even when they are turned off are sometimes called energy vampires. The average U.S. household spends an estimated $100 per year powering devices that are turned off or in standby mode. Green computing can have a tremendous financial benefit. In fact, EPA estimates that even a 10% reduction in energy consumption by the U.S. data centers would save enough energy to power up to 1 million homes per year and save U.S. businesses $740 million annually. In addition to more energy efficient hardware, alternate power sources are being developed for green computing. For instance, solar power is a growing alternative for powering electronic devices, including computers and mobile phones. With solar-powered solar panels convert sunlight into electricity, which is then stored in a battery. Another environmental concern is the amount of trash, sometimes toxic, generated by computers. Paper waste is one concern. It appears that the so-called paperless office that many visionaries predicted would arrive is largely a myth. Instead, research indicates that global paper use has grown more than 6-fold since 1950, and 1/5 of all wood harvested in the world today ends up as paper. The estimated number of pages generated by computer printers worldwide is almost 1/2 billion a year. If all this paper were stacked, it would create a pile 25,000 miles high. Okay. In addition to paper waste, you have computing refuse, which includes electronic hardware such as used toner cartridges, obsolete or broken hardware, and discarded CDs and DVDs. Much of this e-waste ends up in our landfills. So they want you to think about recycling, donating or repurposing older items instead of sending it to the landfills. You can also consider using refillable or recyclable ink cartridges as well. Green Disc is a company that you can contact that reuse salvageable items and recycle the rest of the products. Alright, and that concludes the lecture for Chapter 1. If you guys are confused about any of these items, if you have any questions about anything, want me to discuss something further, shoot me an email, let me know, and I'll get back with you guys as quick as I can.